Hi, everyone. Welcome to Parlay and Chill, where we stack wins and stay cool. This is your parlay destination for sports betting, football, basketball, baseball, and anything in between. My name is Tiana, and I'm here with my buddy Jamar. And I have been sports betting for a few years, and I like to keep it cool as I make my picks. How you doing, Jamar?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. This is the first episode.
Yes.
Long time coming. So yeah. Shoot, let's get into it, right?
Right. I was just about to say, for anybody who don't know, Jamar's been begging me to do this show for a long time. Okay. Because he knows that I really do love the sports bet. So I'm excited. So let's get started. So we have another exciting week in sports betting with week 3 of the NFL starting Thursday. And we also have the start of the WNBA postseason underway.
Mhm.
But first, we're going to start with our last leg. These are slips that we played that only lost by one leg.
Man, that's brutal. One leg. That is brutal.
You missed my sound effect. There we go. Give it to me.
It just took a minute. Look, you got to work with me here. This is the pilot. You got to work with me.
Okay. This is the slip. This was game 2. WNBA Aces versus Storm. And as you see, everything hit but Gabby Williams for 10 points, which is crazy because one, she's usually really good for 10 points, and
Facts.
two, she had 6. So all she needed was 2 more baskets
That's rough.
or
But
3 and a free throw.
that's that's rough. I
Yeah,
I I
that's tough.
I feel your pain on that. Like,
That's tough. That's tough. But it happens to the best of us. As we all know, sports betting could be heartbreaking, but with the bad always comes the good. So now I want to show some of our winning slips from last week.
okay, okay.
And these slips you guys could see on all our social media pages at Parlay, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Okay, so this first slip is a MLB hit slip. I have been trying to hit this slip. So excited. I have a new research strategy that I will share on my Discord. But I have a new research strategy for baseball hits, and it worked. So clap it
Good
up for
job.
that.
Good job.
And, yep, and that was a good plus 700. So put a lot of money on that. You got a decent payout. This was another a nice hit from Monday Night Football, the Bucks and the Texans. This was a single bet slip. I recommend betting single bets when you are trying to flip your money. Let's say you having a rough go and you don't want to, what we don't want to do is put money in, right? We want to use their money to keep building money. So if we feeling like we're a little bit too low for our comfort, I would suggest a single bet to flip whatever amount you feel comfortable flipping. But that is what I did here. Sterling Shepard 25 yards, and there we go. So clap it up for that win. Cool. All right. Now we're gonna start with our NFL game of the week. And this is a good one, surprisingly. You hear the teams, you don't think good game. It is the Bears and the Cowboys. Two of the hardest working fan bases in the NFL, right? The things that we have to endure year after year. However, this is an awesome, awesome game to bet on.
Why?
Um, Great question. The reason why this game is so great to bet on is because it should have high, high offense. You have really good throwing QBs paired with great receivers in CeeDee Lamb and Roma Dunze compared with bad
Okay.
defenses, right? So that combination makes for a lot of yards, makes for potentially a lot of TDs, makes for a lot of money. Okay. So the first slip we're going to put in for this game, let's see it, Mr. Jamar.
Bam.
Great. Our standard slip. So, like I said, a lot of yards. City Lamb, 80. Rome, 60. Mind you, Rome Medusa had over 100 yards last week. City Lamb had over 100 yards last week. George Pickens being wide receiver 2, the 40 should be easy. Especially with would you say Johnson, Jamar?
Yep. Jalen Johnson, he's out indefinitely. That's a
Yep.
wrap. Also that Kyler
Yep.
Gordon, like the Bears nickel corner, who's one of the top nickel corners in the whole league. He hasn't played a single game either. He might not play again.
So basically, no one's in the secondary, right? So basically, no one's out there. Okay. So they should be the receivers for the Cowboys should be eating all night, basically. DJ Moore, 40. Um, even against the Lions, he was able to get his 40, right?
Yep.
Swift, 40 rushes, same thing. Even against a solid defense in the Lions, and as tough as that game was, they all, Rome, Moore, and Swift were all able to hit their numbers last week. So I'm very, very comfortable in picking props for these games. The same thing with which is the Cowboys running back. The Bears rush defense is awful. So he should easily hit that target. And right now we are at a great um payout. Almost plus 1,000. $10 get you, what's that, $100, I believe.
Yeah, pretty much.
$10 get you $100. So, you know, play with that. But this is the slip that I definitely recommend. The first slip that I recommend for the game of the week. Okay, Jamar, let's see the
All
second one.
right. Here it comes. Bam.
Single bet slip. Earlier, I talked about single bet slips. This is a great pick for the week. If you want to flip, you feel like your funds low, if you're just feeling froggy and you just want to flip just because you like to flip, I think this is a really great bet. As I just stated, um, basically the Bears have no defenders in the secondary. CeeDee Lamb is one of the top receivers. Dak Prescott always, well, most of the time, gets his yards, and he's definitely throwing the CD all day Sunday. Um,
I
he should hit this 100 yards by the end of the third quarter, if not before that. Honestly,
I
um, go ahead,
yeah, I
Jamar.
was
What you were
gonna say
saying?
I agree with that. I definitely feel like this is a good play. Like we mentioned already, Jalen Johnson, he's out. I don't even think he's gonna play this year. That's how bad of an injury he has with the groin. So CD Lamb is superior against the inferior secondary of the Bears at this point. Um, Dak Prescott's favorite target. I mean, the man gets, it seems like on average, double-digit targets per game. So he have ample opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to get there. And then the last thing I say, the Bears, like, look, me and you, we are diehard Bears fans. So it
Yeah.
does hurt to talk about this,
Unfortunately.
but at the same time, like, it's money involved. So I mean, hey, it, it kind of like smooths it over type deal. The Bears can't generate a pass rush to save their life, so therefore, I mean, Dak Prescott should have all day to throw to CD Lamb.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a great single bet to go for in Sunday afternoon game of the week. All right. And the final slip for the game of the week, we have a handy dandy TD slip. Keeping it simple, RB1s, wide receiver ones, right? So we got Javante Williams and DeAndre Swift, the running backs for the Bears and the Cowboys, and then we got CeeDee Lamb and Roma Dunze. Here's the interesting tidbit about this slip. Roma Dunze has had 3 TDs in the first 2 games, which means he's averaging a TD and a half per game right now. Even if they were not playing the Cowboys, I would safely put him on a TD slip, right? He's more likely to get one than not. So Roma Dunze, check, right? CeeDee Lamb. On the other end of the spectrum, CeeDee Lamb has not gotten a TD yet this season. However, this is the perfect storm for him to get his first or multiple. I wouldn't be surprised if he had 2 TDs on Sunday. Um, Simply, as we stated, the offense, the opponent, everything. This is a great time for CeeDee Lamb to get his first TD of the season. And then with the running backs, unfortunately, but fortunately for us, both teams have pretty bad rush defense. So with that, we should expect a few rushing TDs. So with that, we have Javonte Williams from the Cowboys and Swift from the Bears should be able to get a TD. And both of them have had TDs so far this season. So that is also a great sign. So I would say this is a nice, comfortable TD slip for the week. You could take one out, take 2 out, wherever you feel comfortable at. But I would say this is a great foundation and starting point for your TD slip for the game of the week.
I must admit, like you did pretty good on this one. Like based on game flow, based on how poor both defenses are. Like if they can't put up points and if these people can't find the end zone, there's a problem.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay. Now, that was our game of the week and our slips. Now we're going to get into our chill slips. These are the slips that should hit no matter what. Game flow, whether it's slow or fast pace or it, this barring injury, because as we know in the NFL, that's very unpredictable. Bar injury, this slip should be green, green, green. Check, 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 check. Let's see the slip. And we have Thursday night Bills and Dolphins. Bills money line, James Cook and Josh Allen TDs. As we know, the Dolphins have been abysmal. They 2 weeks in a row hasn't rated the worst team for the week, for weeks 1 and 2, which is insane after watching the Bears game, and they still was worse than them. Um, so and then the Bills, as we know, is literally one of the, if not the top team, the hottest team right now in the NFL. Josh Allen just picking up where he left off. The Bills just ramrodding, through people, taking care of business, doing what they need to do. So this is a no-brainer. I mean, the only way I can see Miami winning this game is if everybody got hurt, a tsunami came through Buffalo, and
A tsunami, though.
and it took Josh Allen and both the backups washed them out the stadium. That's literally the only way.
This woman said a tsunami in Buffalo.
That's it. That's it. It's got to be a tsunami in Buffalo, New York. Okay, that is the only way. The Bills are not about to embarrass the
Dude,
Dolphins
I didn't even
entirely.
realize. I know
Embarrass.
we didn't even. I know we talked about when we made this. I didn't even realize the game was in Buffalo until I just saw it big in
Yes.
front of my face. Like, oh my god! Like just
Yes.
cancel the game at halftime. It's over. It's over.
This game, the only thing, and I will say this about this slip, because yes, it's the chill slip.
Yeah.
However, they do have touchdowns on them. I will say this specifically about the Bills. And we talked about this a little bit, Jamar. I do not, I will say this. I do not think the Bills have like a set wide receiver, right? So like how CeeDee Lamb is Prescott's number one. You know what I'm saying? We see Roma Dunze popping up what seems like to be the number one target for Caleb Williams. Like, who is Josh Allen's wide receiver one,
Yeah.
right? I don't think he has a favorite. But one thing that we can guarantee is they're still going to score points some way, somehow. And if they are anywhere near the goal line, they are rushing that ball in, whether it's from James Cook or from Josh Allen himself. And based on this opponent and how this game should flow, they will be down there at the goal line a lot.
Yeah.
And so we should get at least one James Cook and one Josh Allen TD this game. So I am very, very comfortable in having this be our chill slip of the week
I'm
for those reasons. What do you think, Jamar?
look. So the Buffalo Bills money line that is by far the easiest one out the three legs. But I'm with you though for a couple of reasons. Like
Yeah.
one, like you mentioned, the Bills haven't had a number one wide receiver, a true number one, since Stephon Diggs was there. Once they got rid of him, honestly, Josh Allen became a better player, which is kind of scary to think of, but he has. And within that, like, there's a lot of variety as far as where these yards are coming from. So we don't know who's going to be. It could be Keon Coleman one week that gets all the yards, or Shakir that gets all the yards. Josh Palmer gets all the yards. Gabe, we don't know with that. But the two things that has been consistent on the ground has been James Cook. He pretty much destroyed the New York Jets last week, and Josh Allen, even though I think he broke his nose, but he still came in the game and still did his thing. So I mean, regardless, like this here, I'm with you. It should hit just based on what we know so far this season.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Great. So that is our chill slip of the week. You should see green, green, green. Now we're going to go with our hot slip of the week. These are our upset picks.
Okay.
Let's see what
All
we
right,
got.
wait for it. Wait for it. Bam.
Bam. All right. Rams and Eagles. We got the Rams. Cardinals and 49ers. We got the Cardinals. Steelers at the Patriots. We got the Patriots. And Raiders at Commanders. We have the Raiders. So I'll start with this Rams upset pick.
Okay.
Rams are playing really good. Eagles are playing good as well. However, last week game was a little shaky for the Eagles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that, we saw some holes, we saw some weak spots, we saw vulnerability with that team, right? And with the Rams playing as good as they playing, they do have the ability and the skill set to expose and build on what happened last week with the Eagles, right? So I could see them possibly upsetting the Eagles. And I personally think it's only an upset because the Eagles are at home. If the Rams were at home, I think the Rams would be the
I think so
favorite.
too.
Because we know that offense. Puka has been snapping these first two games. Okay. Matthew Stafford is once again starting. You know, he's a great, solid quarterback. He has great receivers. They just a great offense. So I could definitely see with the Eagles coming off the win, even though they won, it was still a tough win, right? So even with them coming off that game, I can still see them being vulnerable and giving the Rams an opportunity to overcome them. What you think,
All right.
Jamar?
So yeah, I'm definitely for this one. Look, let's be honest. The Rams should have beat the Eagles last year in the playoffs. And just going into this season based on the first 2 weeks, like, I mean,
Mm,
you hinted at the Eagles not really, pretty much, they haven't showed that they have pretty much their dominance in either of these
Right.
games. The Cowboys should have beat them week one. Chiefs, if Travis Kelce didn't fumble the touchdown in his hands and ended up with a pick, they probably would have ended up beating them. So it's like you said, they're vulnerable. The Rams, like not only their offense is rolling, their defense has actually been pretty good as well. So that's scary. So I'm with you. I'm all definitely for the Rams on this one.
Mm-hmm. Great. And so the second game is Cardinals at 49ers. Look, Jamar, you are my resident know all for NFL, right? So you tell me, and please remind me in the audience, the 49ers, are they with they backup
Yeah.
or
So as of now, Mac Jones is the starter. Brock Purdy is
okay,
limited in practice right now, so there is a chance he could play,
right,
but still, I'm not holding my breath on that one yet.
right. And Cardinals, they still got
Yep.
Kyler Murray, right? Okay, right. Kyler Murray versus Mac Jones. I'm gonna have to go with Kyler Murray, even though I will say this: I am not a fan of Kyler Murray. I'm just not. He hasn't really shown me much since he been in the league. To be honest, last year I feel like he played in Marvin Harrison Jr. face.
Bruh.
This year don't seem much different. So I am, but it's picking the lesser of two evils, I guess. And I'm gonna have to go with Kyler Murray. Oh, and his weapons over Mac Jones. This is why I choose this
I
upset.
feel
What your
I feel
thoughts?
you. I feel like yeah, the Cardinals overall, like right now on offense, they're definitely more well rounded. I mean, 49ers is pretty much at the moment, Christian McCaffrey a bust on offense. And then the defense, like for what it's worth, the Cardinals did upgrade their defense in this offseason. And I mean, they are undefeated right now. So, and then also on top of it, it is a division game. They usually play them pretty well. Pretty much any teams within that division is usually close games. So take that into account.
Yeah, there you go. And so the third one, our third upset is the Patriots over the Steelers. Here's the thing. Um, Drake May has been balling so far. It's only been 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
but so far so good. And although the 40-year-old 40 plus year old, is he 40 or 41 yet?
41. That's your guy, though.
Aaron Rodgers, I do respect Aaron Rodgers, I'll say that. He balled out week one, okay? Went ham, 4 TDs, almost 300 yards. Like he went crazy week one. Week two, he came back down to earth a bit, right? And so it's like he turned back into a pumpkin week two. And so I feel like this is a similar situation as the Eagles, where they're coming off like a tough loss, right? And against a hot team right now. Like the Patriots, we haven't said this since Tom Brady left, but the Patriots are a hot team right now, right? And they QB, everything looks really good right now, and they're at home, and they playing against the Steelers team who threw all a baskets. I mean, who threw all a balls in a Roger basket. And it's just so far albeit only been 2 weeks, but so far been very inconsistent and unpredictable. So with that said, I definitely can see the Patriots upsetting the Steelers Sunday afternoon.
All
What
right,
you think?
this one's a little tougher for me to jump on the bandwagon. I can definitely see your point. I mean, Drake May so far this season is through for 517 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. His quarterback rating's over 100 right now. So I mean, he's definitely looking like the guy that they envisioned on I guess as their franchise guy when they drafted him. See the Steelers. What makes this one a little tough? The Steelers are usually fundamentally sound. Um, they usually don't beat themselves. So it's like New England would actually have to go out there and like beat them. But I guess
Mm.
I guess the caveat is them being at home, because if this was on the road, I don't know. I might have to stay at the stay at the base on this one, but for them being in New England, I give it a puncher's chance. Why not?
All right. And last, we have the Raiders at the Commanders. Here's the deal. You watched the game last week with the Raiders. You will say, Raiders? What? You saw what they just did against the Texans? Blah, blah, blah. Yes, I did. However, the Commanders to me right now are just very, very, very vulnerable. And I feel like the Raiders, if you watch, I don't know how many Raiders fans we have out there, but I just watch all games. So I did see the Raiders play week one. And there literally is a huge amount of growth from week 1 to 2. You can see it, right? All they need to do is utilize Genty more. He is special. Anybody with eyeballs could see that. He is going to be a top running back probably by next year. Most definitely by year 3. Okay. Um, but once they get their utilization right, throw the Bowers more. Because right now they're throwing the Myers more than Bowers. They're not utilizing Genty as much as they should. Once they do that, offense is solid. Geno Smith, to me, has always been a solid QB. He get hate. People don't like him. Listen, I always had no issue with Geno. So I could see the Raiders beating the Commanders. My issue with the Commanders, why I think they're beatable. Um, at home. Now, mind you, this is a hot slip, so this is a hot take, right? Um,
Valid.
but I do think that the Commanders are just vulnerable right now. I don't know. I think it's just an upset pick. I think it's a trap game. That's the word. It's a trap game. I truly, truly feel like it's a trap game. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Whew,
What are
yeah,
your thoughts, Shamar?
yeah, you said the right word. It's hot, hot slip. This is hot. This one right here. Um, Look, if the so I'm on record for saying, and I say this to multiple people. Pete Carroll being on this team gives the Raiders an extra 2 wins. This might be one of the two if this was going to happen, because look, based on the last time we saw Geno and Ashton and the rest of this offense and defense, they didn't look good. They didn't. But also in the same breath, I guess you could say the same thing about the Commanders against the Packers. They like Jay Daniels, started to look like CJ Stroud from last year. Yeah. Like they figured that man out. That's what it looked like.
Mm-hmm. And mind you, the Raiders was against the Chargers last week. Okay, the Chargers is one of the top defenses next to Green Bay right now, and Justin Herbert ain't nothing to play with.
He's not.
I'm on a Justin Herbert bandwagon too. So, and that was a division game. So let's just keep those things in mind when we look at how the Raiders played last week. And it really wasn't a runaway game. The game was pretty close till the end. So let's just keep that in mind. Okay, continue.
Fair enough. What I would go with is it's only 2 games. The sample size isn't there. Any given Sunday, we seen Geno have bad games. We also seen him have great games like he did in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll. I'm circling all the way back to Pete Carroll. If they're gonna win this game, it's because of Pete Carroll. He's gonna outcoach Dan Quinn.
Trap game. Trap game. All right, guys, and there we have it. This is our hot slip of the week. You can't see it, but I believe the odds are plus 2,600. So do what you will with that. All right. We are at the end of the show. I like to end the show with a betting tip of the week. And this week, it is try to bet games that have high offenses or that should be high scoring.
Simple enough.
Like the Cowboys Bears game or the Ravens and Lions game. Anytime you see a high offense team playing one of the low defense teams or two high offense teams going against each other, those are good games to bet on because you can guarantee there will be a lot of yards and or a lot of TDs, which equals a lot of green. So
Makes sense to me.
that is my tip of the week. All right, Jamar, that's all I have for us. Thank you for listening to Parlay and Chill. Continue to stack wins. Stay cool.